Dictation from Progressive Exercise 17. Ready? Start. Mahatma Gandhi never subscribed to the principle that the end justified the means. To him, the means were as important as the ends. He emphatically observed that they say means are after all means. I would say means are after all everything. As the means, so the end, there is no wall of separation between means and end. He compared the means to a seed and the end to a tree and stated there is just the same inviolable connection between the means and the end as there is between the seed and the tree. Gandhiji stuck to this golden idol through thick and thin without worrying about the immediate results. He was convinced that our ultimate progress towards the goal would be in exact proportion to the purity of our means. In India, we are today faced with numerous problems which demand speedy solutions. In order to secure quick gains, several sections of the population indulge in loot, arson, and violence in the belief that such disruptive activities would create the required impact on the authorities concerned. It is a matter of great regret that in some cases the authorities do succumb to violent pressure and blackmail to the detriment of vital national interest. Several armed conflicts in different parts of the world, including Vietnam and West Asia, have proved beyond a shadow of doubt that wars are unable to solve any problems in a lasting manner. Violence creates many more difficulties and complicates matters in a hopeless fashion. Politicians and statesmen the world war are now convinced that national and international conflicts cannot be resolved militarily and that solutions can be found only by bringing the parties to the conference table. Para. All these experiences have amply vindicated Gandhiji's insistence on the employment of pure methods for the attainment of noble objectives. In my view, the best way to observe the Gandhi centenary would be to recognize the truth of this eternal principle and to follow it with unbending will and determination in all spheres of private and public life. Bapu's faith in truth and non-violence was based on his unshakable belief in God and in the efficacy of prayer. To him, God was truth, and in the last analysis, truth was God, the source of light and life and love. Without unflinching faith in this supreme power, it was not possible for a human being to adhere to truth and non-violence under the greatest provocations. Para. It should, however, be borne in mind that belief in God was not an act of blind faith with Gandhiji. In his recorded message to the Americans from London, the Mahatma had stated that there is an indefinable, mysterious thing that pervades everything. I feel it, though I do not see it. It transcends the senses. I do dimly perceive that vessels, everything around me is ever changing, ever dying. There is underlying all that change a living power that is changeless, that holds all together, that creates, dissolves, and recreates. That is why, in the midst of death, life persists. In the midst of untruth, truth persists. In the midst of darkness, light persists. The existence of such a mysterious power and consciousness is now recognized even by the greatest scientist of the modern age. The atomic power perhaps gives but a faint glimpse of the limitless power and energy of the Supreme Soul, which permeates everything from the minutest to the largest. Gandhiji's trust in God enabled him to defy the violent might of the British Empire with utter fearlessness and remarkable confidence. It was this sole power which kept up his crusading spirit to fight ceaselessly and to the successful end. The Gita was his unfailing companion and source of inspiration because it brought home to him the lasting principle that though the body may perish, the soul lives forever. To my mind, it is the erosion of faith in this divine power which has undermined ethical values in our private and public lives. Without reviving these spiritual and moral values, all our efforts to pull the country out of the area of despair, confusion, and corruption would appear to be a futile exercise. Para. Morning and evening prayers had become an integral part of Gandhiji's public life. He did not miss these prayers even while he was in the midst of a life and death struggle for India's freedom. To Gandhiji's insistence on truth constituted the root of his ashram life, while prayer was the principal feeder of that root. Bapu regarded prayer as the bath of purification for the spirit of man because it denoted our cooperation with God and with and another. Gandhiji sincerely believed that not a blade of grass moved without the will of the divine, and prayer was the medium of communication with the supreme power. The present spectacle of violence and chaos in the western countries imply bears testimony to the naked truth that imply bears testimony to the naked truth that material affluence alone could not be the basic aim of national or international progress. A recent editorial in the columns of a London weekly entitled States Stop